Alright everyone, so now I think that everything is almost completed. We have created the actions, reducer and also saga. So only thing we have to do, we have to call the API from this particular saga. So let's do that. So the first thing we have already done is that what we have to do, we have to take a try block here, and in this catch we have to catch any kind of error. Alright, so this is the first thing. Now inside this catch, what we want to do, we'll take one variable, this will be const response and this will be yield, and then what you have to use, you have to use the call method from this particular redux saga slash effects. Now this will call the API, and I think this we have already discussed in the previous component while creating this add nodes saga. Now next thing, we have to import axios from axios, and then this will be call, and the method will be axios.get because we are getting the list of data from the Firebase. And now what we have to do here, we have to pass that API. So for that, let's go and let's copy this particular base URL, and this will be slash nodes list because this is the key that we have created. Alright, so now this will be slash nodes list, and that's it. Now let's log here and let's see what we are getting in this response. So if I just save this and let's go back and let's refresh this page, and I think there is some issue is coming, and that is this is getting blocked, and I think the reason is that alright, we haven't passed the JSON. And now you see, so this is the Firebase thing actually. So this is nothing related to your saga or reducer, so you have to pass JSON while accessing the data. So now if I just save this and let's refresh this page, see, now we are getting back the data, and here we are getting this data, and you can see that here whatever nodes we have created so far while working on this particular component, we are getting the data back. Alright, now here as you can see that whatever data or basically the nodes we have created while working on this particular component, all the data we are getting back. So now we just have to convert this one into array of objects because this is currently in form of an object. So let's do that. So what we can do basically here, we can check if this response, so here I think there should be some property that we can check, and that is the status. You can see the status is 200. So you can check if the response and response dot status, if this is equal to 200, then we want to get the data from the response. We are just destructuring from response. Now what we have to do, basically we'll take another variable here. So this will be, let's create data. I'll take empty array, and then what we can do, basically we can take a for loop, and this will be const key in that particular data. And here what we have to do, we'll just take this create data dot push, and what we have to push, will push the data of that particular key. So if you have very basic knowledge on JavaScript, you will know that what basically we are doing, we are just looping through that key inside this object of this particular data, and based on that we are just pushing that data into this array. So now if I just log this create data here, and let's save this and let's see what we are getting. So alright, see, there is some data, create data is not defined, and let me check, is there any problem? Oh, alright, I think we just have to paste it inside here. Alright, correct, because this is in block scope. Alright, so now let's save this and let's see. Okay, you can see that now we are getting array of objects, ID and name we are getting. That's it. Now what you have to do, basically whatever data we will be getting, we have to put this data into an action. It will go to your action, from action it will go to reducer, and from that reducer you can get the data back to your component. So this is the whole process, the same process again basically. So now what we will be doing here, we'll just take a yield, and this will be put, this will be put, and I think we have to import that from here. So this will be put, and then what you have to do, if I just go to our action, you'll see that we have created this particular action, and that is the data is now successful. So we just have to call this action, and we have to pass this parameter, and this will be the data that we have just created here. So this is the create data we have to pass. So this will be, let me just take this, I'll just copy this one and I'll just paste it here. And inside of this, now we just have to pass this create data, and we also have to import this one. That's it. Now what we have done, basically now this will call this particular action. So if I just go to the flow, so it will come here, and if I just log this nodes list data, and let's remove the console from here or else it will be confusing. So if I just save this, you'll see that we will be getting the data in our action. So if I just go back and see, now we are getting the data in our action. So from action, we have to pass the data in our reducer, and I think that is already we have done. So if I just copy this particular type here, and if I just go back, you'll see that we are already creating this action.nodes list data that we will be getting from action. So if I just log here action, you'll understand. So let's save this and let's go back and let's refresh this page, and now we'll see that in the reducer we are getting the type and the nodes list data from that reducer, and that's it. So this is basically, now we are getting the data back in our reducer. What we have to do, we just have to take this data in our component, and based on that we just have to render it. So let's do that one in the next video.